Read. It's recording. Read.
The goat that gloats.
You look there.
On a throne made of stone at the top of a tower, counting the minutes of each passing hour, feeling bored and
Ignored.
ignored for days without end, lived goat who was lonely. He wanted a friend. This goat was unhappy with sitting alone, way up in his tower on his cold, hard throne. So out of his window he started to bleat, so the people who bustled below the street. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat. I've a throne in a tower with a bubble bath moat.
Yep.
But the people below called back over the moat, who would want to be friends with the gloating old goat. The goat scratched his head with his hoof, and he frowned. What must he do to make friends in his town? So he shouted again to the people below, without even so much as a smile or hello. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat, for I own a fast car and a fabulous boat. But the people below got back over the moat. Who would want to be friends with the gloating old goat? Now the goat was beginning to be quite upset that no one wanted to be friends with him yet. So he jumped to his hose and he reached for his net, and quickly he scooped up
Fernando,
his pet.
Oh my goodness, that's silly.
What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat, for Fernando, my pet, is the world's smartest stoat. But the people below got back over to the moat. Who would want to be friends with the old gloating old goat? Wait, no. With the gloating old goat.
There you go.
What's more, the goat, who was stricken with grief, came away from the window to Fernando's relief. He re-caged his pet before he got bitten, then burst into verse with the song that he'd written. What a wonderful friend I would make, bragged the goat, for that little ditty was one that I wrote. But the people below called back over the moat. Who would want to be friends with the gloating old goat? Now the goat was about to sing one more verse, but this run of bad luck took a turn. For the worse, he took a deep breath and let loose with such force that his voice gave right out. He had bragged himself.
Where are you? Horse.
The people below in the street clapped and cheered, and the goat whimpered miserably into his
Beard.
Why don't they like me? Why don't they care when all of my riches I'm willing to share? Meanwhile, the people began to feel bad for teasing the goat in the way that they had. He might be annoying for gloating all day, but all that aside, he was kind of okay. So they lifted their heads to the tower and tried to talk to the goat, who was holed up inside, for they thought he'd make a good friend. Sure enough, if only he'd promised to stop showing off. Like, turn the page. The goat heard them calling his name, and he jumped up out of his throne with such joy that he bumped his horns on a beam jutting out of the ceiling. It was several hours before they
regained
feeling, but he couldn't talk with that pain in his throat. He struggled to utter much more than a note. A note. Why, that's it. So he went one step better, sat down at his desk, and he wrote them a letter. At last he had finished. To the window he went, and there with his letter he carefully bent, and folded the paper to form a small plane, while all the time hoping that it wouldn't rain.
Wait. What's that word?
Hoping.
There you go. Okay.
Hoping that it wouldn't rain. Whoosh went the letter out into the blue. Ah, went the people below also. Ooh, as circling steadily over the street, it finally came to a rest at their feet. And the people below called back over the moat. Of course, we'll be friends with you, silly old goat.
Can I read the letter?
What wonderful friends you would make, went the note, for to this foolish old goat with a very sore throat. I'm sorry, I really did that mean to brag. But loneliness can be a terrible drag. Now I get to thinking, sitting here on my chair, what use are nice things if they cannot be shared? I would take great delight in knowing better, and that is the reason I'm sending this letter. Hey, dragon brag rhyme.
That's it. Oh.
Bye.